We keep talking about score in this game. Again, you were around those guys as well in Newark. Kevin Young is the first-year coach at BYU, a former NBA assistant. We know what Nate Oates has done. Well, what are your thoughts in the preview mode on BYU and Alabama as the 2 seed?
Yeah, well, just a quick injury update. Nate Oates said that Grant Nelson, who's been battling a knee injury and came off the bench against Robert Morris when they beat Robert Morris, said Grant Nelson's at about 90%. He's not 100%. He said no one is at this time of year, but that Grant Nelson should be good to go. He said Cliff Amori, the big guy who transferred from Rutgers, is good to go, so they should have their full roster. The Kevin Young thing is interesting. I confess, as an East Coast guy, I hadn't really, followed him that much, but he is a former, obviously, NBA assistant, with the Suns and the Sixers. He was close to getting the Brooklyn Nets head coaching job a couple years ago, and he talked a lot today about just bringing an NBA mentality, philosophy, staff to BYU, and how he's got all kinds of NBA staffers there and employs NBA spacing. And the players said they love playing for him because all the plays he draws up result in open shots. He's got a projected lottery pick there, and the Russian kid Igor Danim.
Yep.
And obviously they're getting AJ DeBonsa, the number one player in the country, next year. So that BYU program is, got a lot going for it. They've also got huge NIL money. I reported that AJ DeBonsa is getting about $7 million in NIL. So they got a lot going on there with an NBA style coach, a lot of NIL money. And he's also sort of part of a larger trend, TJ, where we've now had a couple NBA assistants in this coaching carousel cycle take college jobs, right? Utah hired Alex Jensen. Iona hired Dan Garriott. So
Florida State with Luke Laux, right? The former player that's been an NBA assistant as well with Sacramento. Exactly to your point.
That's a good point. So Kevin was just talking about how there's sort of more similarity now between college, the G League, the NBA, just in terms of player movement, free agency, NIL, paying players. And so there's a lot of, it's not that, it's kind of like Bill Belichick going back to North Carolina, right? There's not much difference. Although he said, I think it's easier to get the players to listen in college. So I think both these games, it's going to be high scoring affairs, you would think, right? Both games in like the 80s and 90s.
Adam is never off duty, by the way. You hear the dings, everybody texting him, everybody emailing him. He's always trying to find inside information.